Hey, welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. DM Jones, my cat, is laying by a pile of boxes that
Fired.
we have. He's very happy. Welcome to session 126 of the Crass Menagerie story. Uh, yeah, let's see. Trying not to say a lot, but that's where my brain is right now. So, previously, the Menagerie, well, they defeated a green dragon that was slumbering in the Snoring Mountain, which is a singular massive mountain that dominates the skyline. And the really only city in the area close to it is that of Carver. Carver has a history of being an old history, pretty much forgotten by many, if not most, of being a forging and blacksmithing city that had a very monastic approach to their practices. However, some 500 years ago, greed struck the mountain when valuable gems and minerals were in it, and basically it had a century or so, maybe actually more than that, of like this boom as anyone and everyone that could got over here trying to make a new future for themselves. And then there was a slow decline, and now basically we have modern day Carver, which is just shanty towns and thugs and people desperate trying to just find anything to be able to get them through life. Uh, which the Menagerie now know very well because twice, both times they've entered the city, they've been assaulted by thugs. So, yeah. So the Menagerie had dispatched of Aristratar, the green dragon. They had combed through her lair, finding some notable objects that they have taken back with them. Not to forget some, but if I do, it's okay because not all of them are like super crazy. Oh my god, important. But Rock was able to find some random, uh, like a tapestry of a dragon that is like an interpretation of a dragon. The dragon didn't know what a dragon looked like, and then slowly worn down, beat up, in pieces, dragon chest set. Allegretto found a totally not cursed, absolutely spooky, fanged Oni mask that is a red, black, and gold. Uh, yeah, we'll see what that turns into. Sej has a collection of 5 shields, one of which stood out to him as very interesting. It was like a target shield that's both a round shield with 2 portions of it kind of cut out in semicircle design. Uh, yeah, we'll find out what that does. They also found a scroll holder that has the iconography and stylings of the winged lions, similar to the one that they have found in the overgrown ruins over in the Grey Crolls. Dragnar was not with us last session, but he rolled previously some pre-rolls, and it happened to be that the chart and the table and the row that my players told me to pick had a natural 20. So Dragnar had a natural 20, and he found something, and that's actually where we'll start. A little backtrack, trying to show what he found. And I think last but not least, there was a really nicely made monkey chain. In this case, it was sloths, like a necklace made of ivory sloths. Carlos also took them multiple handfuls of coins, ending up to be something like 97 platinum and like 3 gold, or 27 gold, or something like that. Am I forgetting anything?
Giant axe, the cube.
Yeah, cube.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the big one, the one that I skipped over. That's right. And then Carlos found a giant's axe. Literally the axe of a giant, about 40 feet in length, was buried at the bottom of one of the massive piles of the horde underneath the water, and mostly by himself, over the course of an hour, dragged it out onto the shore.
I'd help.
Davis attempted to help,
Yeah.
and Giant Ape Allegretto didn't know how to swim. So there's a lot of splashing around. But the axe itself wasn't the source of the magic. Upon further inspection with the fuchsia energies pulsing in Al's eyes, he was able to ascertain that there was a portion of the axe's shaft that was imperfect. It had like this weird gnarl and this twist to it. And through that was where the magic was coming. And Sedge was able to extract what it was, and what came from it is quite literally a perfect cube, about the size of a male human's hand that could fit in there, made of like a silvery metal, extremely lightweight, so perfect that it plays tricks on the eye, like on the mind. Like you can hold it and it looks flat, or it doesn't look. It does sharp. The edges look too sharp. It's just odd staring at it. So taking what they had from Aristar's lair, after exploring it and also interacting with the special tree that was there, which we're not going to go into that yet, the Menagerie decided to leave the lair and head back, as they need to discuss things with Scoot, possibly create a rally point with Navori, and maybe some other allies. So, using Davis's Redeemer, which is bound to the Snoring Mountain, he was able to tap into the fiery teleportation network and vamp the crew, as well as Osut, the leader of the Crackchecker Kobolds, back to their Crackchecker camp, where they discussed what was happening, and with a send-off, the Menagerie headed back to Carver proper. In about this entire time, it's been raining, though not heavily storming. There is the sound of distant thunder and the visual of lightning up high in the sky. The rain is moderate, and the Menagerie took their time to return back to Carver, arriving towards nighttime, where as they're walking through the shanty towns that are literally any type of shelter that could be made of any type of refuse and debris that sprawls and stretches out from the glitter walls of the interior portion of Carver. They were walking by the no water tap room when over 30 thugs and bandits and people that are down on their luck stepped out trying to jump a small group of travelers. Well, it's the Menagerie. They dealt with them in their own kooky way, and simply are now walking by them. Some platinum lighter, but by their choice. And with that, I think we pick up with the Menagerie. We will pick up with the Menagerie walking through the shanty towns as they just entered through the. I should really remember the name of the points of the city. I am so sorry. Chapter. No, I'm not city. I am asking city. They changed the layout on OneNote, and it like reordered stuff. I can't find sometimes my stuff as easily as I used to. Cities of Rune. So yeah, it's the soot flats, which are the ghettos, also known as the shanty towns, and they have the Menagerie had just passed through the gem archways through the glittering walls to enter into the gem dust. The largest portions of Carver, which it's not as run down, but it's definitely still neglected. It is definitely missing much of what was in its heyday. It's dusty, it's dirty, but you're not going to run into a thug around every single. But as they enter that, we're going to jump back to Dregnar's natural 20, as he was swimming through the waters of Rissertar's lair. Maybe it can be a good DM and just remind everybody what that looks like. And where are my Menagerie folk? All right, I'm going to grab all the kobolds just because it's kind of fun grabbing all of them. They're still in that. Boom. So, as we kind of quickly step back, and I should have shifted Ping Jell over. I think it worked.
It did.
I don't see it on the screen. Okay, cool. Game's just a little bit more delayed than I realized. So, Dregnar,
Yes.
as we kind of discussed off camera, so when you're searching and swimming around, kind of going through and still being cautious, because even though Sej's locate creature, that there was only one mimic left, you still don't know exactly, and you don't want to have what happened to you happen again here. Being inside of the belly of a giant horde mimic is not fun. So, cautiously swimming off to the side a little bit, yet always looking back over your shoulder just to make sure you're within distance of your allies. There's multiple piles of ore. There's gold and platinum. There's more gold and platinum than you've ever imagined would even be in this world. Especially from someone that has come from your background. Living in the woods and then living in a monastery.
I'm imagining my take is this is more gold than I even thought was in the entire world.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. And you work with merchants. You've protected merchants and stuff, and they've carried a significant amount in a chest, maybe. So much more here. And you're cautiously kind of digging through. You don't know what you're looking for, actually. There's just you're extremely out of your element. But maybe with some luck or some chance or some fate, you find a piece of fabric that's almost like pinned and sort of buried underneath a pile of wealth and opulence. And it looks familiar in a sense. You don't know why, as it kind of sways just ever so loosely in the water. And you take in a deep breath and dive down, and you pull on it. And it's essentially kind of like a sash, one that you currently wear around your waist. However, the fabric itself is very dark black. And the stitching on it, while heavily, I don't want to say like wet rot, but heavily deformed at this point, still has the very subtle embroidering and stitching of a sect that you are familiar with in the monastic practices. The Shadow Walkers.
Okay.
And as you're kind of pulling on the cloth and kind of observing it, there's almost like a little pocket in the sash. And as you kind of put your hand and you feel it, there's something extremely solid in there, and you kind of reach and pull it out. And it's a little gray talisman made of clay. It fits between your pointer finger and your thumb. You're looking at it, and on it is intricate blue ink or staining that almost depicts maybe like a monastic location, maybe like a temple or something. You don't know. It's very worn out. It's very old. But it strikes your interest heavily. And as you kind of scoop it up and collect it, kind of come back to the group with it, what the rest of you see that Dregnar is holding, it's like a little brick that is the blackest thing you have ever seen. There's no detail, there's no nothing. It is just black. It is called Vanta black. I think it's the darkest black that we are aware of.
Yeah.
It literally like is holding a little black Vanta black brick. And that's what he found in the treasure.
It's creepy.
What is that?
Yeah. What?
Like, well, it looks like it's maybe some kind of medallion, maybe a brooch. But if you see right here, it depicts the location of a monk. And
It looks
I point to
like
where it,
a clay brick of nothing.
nothing. It's gray with like blue stuff. What are you talking about?
No, it looks like it's just shadow itself.
A bit of a void. That's. Are you holding nothing?
Yeah, are
Like,
you doing like a spell or something to make it do that?
Yeah,
Um, no.
it's a really dark gray if you say it's gray. But, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll look at Al and
Yeah, no,
say-
I'm gray. That thing's
Huh?
black.
and say, can you guys do your thingy bop? You know, the how do you tell something something?
The illusion or is this magic thing?
I'm assuming it's magic because you can't see what I see. But I will tell you. Well,
I think it's
I think-
revolting,
I-
but I kind of want to just touch it.
hold on one second, Adam. At a game, I can't tell them, right?
No. Yeah. No.
Okay. Yeah, I found it down there. It looked like, maybe another monk. Like it was clothing of a monk. And
Like one of your guys? Like, because you do the
yeah,
shadow stuff?
maybe I don't know. But yeah, it just seems interesting. I was kind of drawn to it.
I'm kind of repulsed by it. I mean, just existentially.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So could you guys?
What an
do your
interesting
little-
artifact.
I'll take it. Actually, I want to take it. See, does it? For some reason, Davis instinctively thinks it's gonna be like cold, really cold.
Yeah.
I'll
Ragnar?
hand it to him. Yeah, I want
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
no, I just want
when-
that's fine.
when Davis grabs it, you see it go in his hand. Davis, it's just a wet, pretty smooth clay stone. You feel the stone, you understand there's a stone in your hand, but when you look at it, all you're seeing is black, right? So it's just a little messing with your mind a little bit. Dregnar, as you're passing the stone off, and it sits in Davis's hand, you see the blackness take it over, and then now you see what everyone else was seeing. It's just a
That's weird.
complete black. For Davis, it's still completely black to you.
Yeah, okay.
Not changed.
Davis, can you hand that to Al or somebody real quick?
Oh, can I actually get it?
Sure, Saj, go ahead.
Wait your turn. I want to see if it's sticky.
I toss it to
No, it's
Davis.
Yeah, through the air, you see it, and as it's tossing, all you see is like this void, black void, just kind of getting tossed in the shape of a brick.
When it
It's,
leaves his hand, does it go back to the way I saw it?
No.
If it's kind of finicky through the air, I think my depth perception is going to be a little off, but I'll almost fumble it. But what the? Ooh.
Yeah.
That looks weird when it's flying.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
it feel? Does it feel the same?
yeah. It just like it feels like you're holding a small gray talisman, like a small clay talisman. Excuse me, clay. But like when you look at it, it is just blackness.
I'm gonna stare into it and like unfocus my eyes. See if
Yeah, I'll have you kind of see Al's eyes drift apart, and he just kind of reverse cross eyes it. No, it's still black.
easy to get lost in. It's beautiful and whatever it is. Here you go, Sej. I'm gonna take a step and hand it to him since floating was kind of.
So you guys are just kind of swimming and floating there because we're back in the, handing it to him.
Right.
I'm gonna take it in my hand
Mm-hmm.
and look at it for just a second. And does it look like it came to me like everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cast light on it. Cantrip.
Sure. You do. It is an object, so you are able to cast it on it. It's odd. It's like when we look at those pictures, those renderings of a black hole. It's still black in the center, but then it's haloed by your light spell. It doesn't consume the light. It doesn't stop the light. It's just so black that it's still blackness. And then it's the black brown talisman just with it. Yeah. The event horizon almost, right? Of just light coming off of it completely everywhere.
And then I'll look around the room and be like, sorry, I should have warned you. It was a little bright. Anybody else?
Al's jaw drops and he's taking a little bit of water. It's just like, whoa.
You want me to see if I can figure out what it is, Dregnar?
Well, I was gonna, do one of your spell things. I know you guys can like determine what something is or identify properties or whatever. I'm interested because it's weird because whenever Davis grabbed it, it turned into what you guys see, and I can't see what I saw.
While he's talking, I'm gonna walk lazily while like looking at it and walk over to Rock.
Oh my God, he's Jesus. He's walking on the water.
He's walking on water.
Whoa!
Is he in the water? I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all kind of treading water.
Water's an
that's
opinion.
right.
It's a suggestion.
Okay. I'll swim over to Rock. My
Yeah.
bad. Thought
Yeah,
we
no.
were at the middle of the tunnel.
No, yeah. So yeah, Rock, as you hand it, you're holding a. Again, the texture and the feel of it is a clay little brick that should fit between your thumb and your pointer finger. Not very heavy. Go ahead.
I'll cast Identify on it.
Okay. It takes a moment to find purchase on the spell because you're trying to look at it and it still does kind of play a little trick with your mind. But Identify does eventually land. And what you have before you is indeed a clay talisman made of a material and enchanted in a way that is passed down through monastic practices. Anyone that has the ability to manipulate the flow of ki within their body is able to see what is within the talisman, upon the talisman. For everyone else, the clay charm is enchanted and is a solid Vanta black color, the darkest black known. Upon it, there are some benefits to people that are able to manipulate the flow of ki. Mechanically speaking, when a monk has this medallion on their person, they can increase any monk skill they make, acrobatics, athletics, history, insight, religion, and stealth, by an amount equal to their martial arts die, as shown on the monk feature table. Additionally, when you critically hit a creature and choose to apply your stunning strike, they make the saving throw at disadvantage. On a failure, they are paralyzed while being stunned unless they are immune. Additionally, if a creature ever rolls a natural 1 on the saving throw against your stunning strike, they are paralyzed in the same way. Yes, you can basically paralyze lock somebody potentially.
I think I'll toss it to Dregnar and I think that this is you might find use for this. I don't like it. Too dark.
Yeah, I will say for you, Rock, like as you said, you don't like it. It's dark. It is unsettling in the sense of just what key manipulation it is, because material will pull kind of from what we have in our reality in our world, chi, life force, etc. Basically interchangeable for everyone. Monks learn to kind of tap into it, and through physical training, mental training, spiritual training, and are able to manipulate the flow of it within themselves and others. So this just is intrinsically tied into that, and it's not necessarily a practice that you understand. So, and the coloration obviously gives off a kind of a omen, I guess, kind of feel to you. But yeah, Dregnar, the moment you catch it, and after a brief moment in your hand again, you can see the blue ink on it.
Okay, cool. Does it look like it was meant to be wrapped on like with a piece of leather for a necklace or something like that, or a chain?
Basically, however, there is no little indentation or a little carved away piece to put in a string. It's basically however you can apply it. So what you found, it was tucked in a little pocket in a stash.
Okay.
Let me find the link for that, and I'll put it in the Menagerie channel for you guys. And the item itself is just called Vanta Black. Menagerie channel. Oop, there you go. Okay. That being said, now we can fast forward to where you guys previously were. And walking through the walls, entering back into Carver proper. There you go. Should switch over the page now for you guys. Leaving the shanty, the soot flat, smell of sulfur behind you. What is the Menagerie planning on doing? And keep in mind, it is getting late.
We should really be more careful with our coin, I think. If we're to keep traveling, I guess. You know?
What do you mean?
I mean,
You think I shouldn't have given them
saw
the
a
money?
few. I'm not sure about that. I mean,
I mean, they were dumb.
definitely needed the money, right?
Yeah. I mean, they could use it better than we could.
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe it
But
just
if that
shuts them up and
happens so
stops them.
often,
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe they get the idea that, hey, this works, let's keep doing it. But, you know, maybe they'll just get drunk and stop doing it. Who knows?
well, if anywhere needs the money, it's here. So,
Yeah, we don't need it, really.
where were we going first? I don't even know where we're going.
Scoots, I think, but it's... I mean... The Marians still sleep, right? Like, I think... I mean, if I go to his office, is he just gonna be, like, chilling there all night? It's getting late.
Go check. And if he isn't and we need to wait, then we could go kick up our feet somewhere.
We can go to the Knot Bar.
Mhm.
Ooh, I like the mount bar.
If we have to.
That speakeasy was exhilarating.
Yeah, it's Willem's place, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just go check, see if Scoot's there.
Sounds good to me. Everybody?
Onwards.
So, as you guys travel
The Dusty Pig.
to the Dusty Pig, you know, the not maintained stone and wood buildings with roofs still atop of them, though obvious in not disrepair, in neglect. You're able to travel. There is, you hear the running trickle of water from building down to street, and you have like some of those little like natural little streams forming as it's while it's not raining heavily, it's been raining consistently for a long time, for most of the day now. And as you're approaching the evening, as you're walking through the city, you realize just how dominant Shimmering Mountain is in the skyscape. But it takes a little while. People are within town, as if, from what you gather, as if nothing happened. Maybe it's slightly a surreal moment, realizing that all these people around you had no idea there was a dragon just next door.
Not
But I guess
anymore.
ignorance.
Not anymore.
Yeah. But
Isn't it
traveling.
nice to sleep in ignorance of impending danger in your own mountain? You know?
This helps my paranoia, so I'm fine with it.
As you guys kind of travel and get into the main square, seemingly where everything had branched out. You know, you're getting close to the one building within the gem dust that does not seemingly belong. A mostly metal constructed large like warehouse. Almost, if I dare say, almost like modern. Uh, Multiple entry points. You see within the ground it being like worn away from the heavy foot traffic as employees and workers travel back and forth from the rusty pick with whatever soot and dirt that they're able to gather from within the labyrinth that is the Soaring Mountain to be processed and be graded and then later packaged and distributed as soil enrichment for Pled, the entirety of Pled, the nation that basically produces most of the food on this planet, or on this continent, excuse me.
Why they call it the Harvest Reach.
Exactly. But you do eventually reach to this building. The oil lantern hanging protected from the rain, completely enclosed. People still walking in and out from the various entry points. You've arrived to the dusty pick.
Yeah, I forget. Did we had to like check in with someone and then they went and got a? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Hello, hey, is there anybody? Looks like just look around. Is there anybody like manning a front desk or anything like that?
Yeah, so if you recall, then
I
there
do.
is, as you kind of step in out of the rain, at this point, y'all are fairly wet, like just from the amount of travel, right? Even though it's not raining too heavily, kind of dripping onto the floor and all that. Though so is everyone else. There is a desk, an entry, that's manned by not as many people as you recall, as it is getting kind of late. But there's a pair, a half-elven individual and a scaled individual that has some horns. Once you get a better look at them, they seem to be dragonborn.
Hey, excuse me. Is Scoot in still? I know it's late. Is Scoot around?
Uh, I believe so. May I ask what
Yeah. Can
business
you
you have?
just let
I'm
him
gonna
know?
come up behind him and guide it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Could you just tell him that the menagerie's here and we just wanted to check in with him?
Menagerie.
Yeah,
Not too familiar with
that's
that,
okay.
but
He'll remember us. That's okay.
okay. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
With guidance.
This guy. Look at
Don't
that.
you know who we
Clarity.
are?
That's good because I
God.
rolled a fucking 3. So that so total of 13. So
With the guidance.
with the
13?
guidance, yeah, I rolled a 3, which would be an 11, and then a 2 on the
Yeah.
D4.
Okay. So you kind of see like she's and the half elf kind of looks to the dragon, and the dragonborn she kind of smiles and kind of gets up, looks at you once over. Menagerie, right?
Yeah.
Sure. And she's in no hurry, but you see she kind of gets up. She grabs like a couple folders of paperwork, and maybe she's going to go over there on her way to deliver some paperwork or whatever. So, as you guys are waiting, sort of.
Waiting. You know it's already late, right? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
It's kind of quietly awkward. The half-elven male kind of gets back to what paperwork he has in front of him in this, reception desk that you can't see over it.
I'll actually just ask him, like, hey, does Scoot sleep? I mean, I think he does, right? Right?
Yes, um, he does. He kind of puts his.
I just don't know
His
many people
down.
like him, and he just seems to be so on top of everything that, like,
Yeah.
it's almost like he doesn't sleep, you know?
Those of you, and I think a lot of you are trained in insight or proficient. You got to get the sense this guy likes to gossip a little bit. He's like, actually, like he does, but it's weird. He's almost like, I don't know how to tell it. It's almost like he just stops moving, and like the light behind his eyes goes dull.
Well, like
He
yeah.
falls asleep standing up.
Standing up, sitting down,
Oh, like
laying down. Like he just basically and he gets up and he kind of goes through the motions of like step, phew.
Does it-
Oh.
does he like make any sounds or anything different?
Sounds like he might accidentally hit the floor.
Does he snore?
I don't
Is
know.
it
I've never. We don't really go up to his office very much.
Oh, really?
I mean,
we've gone there every time we've been here.
how do I not know you?
I mean, I'm okay. It was the one time we've been here, but it is every time if you think about it.
100%. Nailed it?
But I mean, we've spoken to him otherwise. But yeah, no, he should remember us. But that's weird. I mean, are you sure he's sleeping? Are you sure he's sleeping then? Like, are you sure he's not just like watching?
No, because the few times that I've come across him when he's like stationary, the moment I start to speak to him and he's like the lights come back on.
Yeah, he's probably messing with you. I don't know, but he doesn't seem like the type to mess with you, really.
I mean, he's.
Would it be weird if I asked him?
I don't know. I don't.
Have
I mean,
you?
no, I never thought about asking. I don't deal with Scoot very. I'm a
I
reception.
like the guy a lot. I might ask him. We'll see. We have other stuff to talk to about it first, but now I'm so curious.
Yeah. I mean, right. Between me and you, and he kind of leans in and kind of lowers his voice a little bit. I don't know if it's because he's as old as he is, or if it's seeing the patchwork fix him. Maybe that's why he. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll let you know. If I ask.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to ask, but I definitely might.
And just they nod in his mouth. Well, I mean, sorry, we don't really have. I'm gonna have to talk to the floor manager, see if we can maybe get a place for people to sit or something. Because normally it's just walk in, check in, go to work, but you don't really often have guests.
I'm gonna find a nice corner and just sit in the corner between the wall.
Yep, that works.
Floor's fine. It's okay.
You're kind of sitting there, and you just kind of, after a little bit, you just kind of feel how wet you are and everything.
I try to shake off my clothes a little bit in the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Once the discussions end, I was gonna discreetly start presidentating people. He'll kind of mute the strings, but he'll like tap you on the shoulder and raise the loot up. And at this point, you know what that means. It's an offer.
Please.
Can't-
Nod.
Karos takes twice as long.
If I'm not
Once
first,
my
I'm gonna
clothes wash
shake.
from my fur.
I'm gonna shake like a dog in my corner of the room.
Does your trunk just
Trunk
go
going everywhere.
ape shit whenever you do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh fuck! That's funny.
knock somebody out, a patron.
Yeah, exactly. Start knocking over decorations and shit. Like a,
My
a
boss.
light sconce on the wall or a torch or something. You just like completely knock it out.
No, I just kind of seem like somehow he manages to shake the water so that it actually gets beyond the coverage and goes like over it and takes out the sconce. And say, oh, don't worry, I'll light that again.
My bad. I could light it too.
Would you?
I'll
Fireball.
yeah, fireball.
Flame strike.
Do I have any
Got it.
Never
cantrips I
tell
can
me
do
to
this
do
with instead of my
anything again.
spells?
I mean, you
Uh,
probably have a trap. You probably have a camping kit and you have a flintstone.
Well, I have a
A
torch.
tinderbox.
You
I'll
know,
torch and a tinderbox, and I'll just like snap with like the tinderbox in
Yeah.
my hand, like the tinders in my hand,
mm,
and try to get like a little bit of a light, like assistance with it, and light it by hand, hopefully.
that works. That's fine. I'll allow it. I'm sorry. It's one of those interesting little things that always happens in D&D when you're playing a spellcaster. It's like I can't do anything if it's not a spell. It's like yeah.
Well, I was if that wasn't allowed, I would have totally burnt the spell slide. So
Yeah, I know, but like
You
it's
just
just it's
grab
funny
the
to
other
find that.
torch from the other sconce.
Too much
you're
work.
so smart.
Yeah.
But, you know,
As magic users, their order of operations when it comes to can I do something or can't I do something, it really jumps to magic fast.
it's like
It's either
it's like
blow
what's
it
my
up or
highest
can't
level
do it.
spell?
So yeah, I'll try it once with this item I have, otherwise there's no other way.
if you look at my character sheet, I'm wise. I'm not smart. I'm wise.
We know. No, but we're not making fun of you. We're just it's hilarious how it happens every group. Spellcaster's always like, magic solves everything. How do I open this door? I could use my hand, or I can blow it away. It's like,
It's like a level 2 spell slot, for
Yeah.
any door.
Shouldn't, if Sedge is the light domain, right? Shouldn't he just have burning hands?
I do have burning hands.
Oh, you
but
do?
it's
I don't see it on
first
your
level.
character sheet. Oh,
It's
there.
burning hands material.
Oh, that's right. It's a first level. For some reason, I thought it was cantrip. Never mind.
Right. So, some time will pass. Al is going by, prestidigitating all of y'all.
I'll say who has the container, the spell scroll container? Did I?
You do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. It's in my bag right here. I'm gonna take it out and like inspect it a little more thoroughly while we have the free time in the lobby.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. You are. Remember, you are more than welcome to guidance yourself. You do not have to guidance only others.
I'll
You're so
guidance myself for it. Yeah,
Because you are so good at, you're like very good at guidancing others, but you always forget to do it to yourself. I'm like,
I do. I kind of forget to use it at all. Anyways, um, 12,
I believe.
17.
okay. So it is not identical to the one that you have from the overgrown ruin, but the similarities are just striking. Very much as was discussed while you were in the lair, it is associated with the Unveilers. Still don't know very much about them, other than their group that is dedicated to the truth, basically. Removing any sort of collusion or misinformation or tribal influence to a story, to a truth, and making sure that what it is actually known. Very, very beautiful in its design. It's painstakingly made. This troll tube with the different spiraling effects of the different lions, big, and you can just kind of like when you actually follow the tube, you can almost envision the entirety of that lion with the wings. And now that you've seen them, oddly kind of reminds you of one of the encounters that you had with the Sphinx. Very like a winged lion, though the face still is not represented very humanoid. Everything else kind of falls into place because you're noticing that there are adornment and decorative pieces added to these design of these figures on the scroll tube. And you kind of look at both of them and they have it there. With the first one that you found when you uncorked it, there were the pearls. You kind of go through the same motion with the 17. And as you look at it, it's empty. But, curiosity takes through, and you kind of reach your hand in, kind of seeing, just kind of feeling around if there's anything like hidden. And when you reach in, you feel parchment. You feel vellum. There's something in there. You don't see anything in there. What do you do?
Hey, Rock. Come
Yeah.
here, real quick.
Boogie?
I feel more parchment in here. But I looked at it. There's nothing in there, but I could feel it. But one thing, I'll show him like the Sphinx part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to make sense of when that happened to us. When we found, who was that again? I so much has happened recently, but that is such an open mystery.
Our Sphinx friend? Friend? Where's
Yes, you remember, right?
I mean, yeah, Jagnar was very mad at me for that.
Well, that figure seemed omnipotent. It was. I'm still trying to make sense of it. But this reminded me of him. And it seems like the other one that we had from that burning calf or whatever, that four-legged creature that we hid behind on that mountain.
Like a yak.
That's it. A yak. They have yaks here?
I haven't seen one.
You haven't seen one.
Those seekers of truth. It's the same make. Same people. But, and I'm gonna try to pull that parchment out.
Sure. You go and you pull, and then as you're starting to pull it out, like you kind of hear the sound of vellum kind of rustling amongst the two because it's not a perfect fit, and you pull it out, and you kind of see Tej pull out a very dark vellum roll. Has the signs of aging, discoloration amongst what you can see against the exterior wrap. Cord wrapped around it that's keeping it within. Yeah, he pulls out the vellum parchment.
Should I undo it?
I mean, I think so. I want to know what it is.
Here, why don't you do the honors, because last time you were way more versed in arcane language that was on a scroll.
Okay, I'll take it and have a look at it.
Okay. So as you kind of maybe takes a second, untie the little cord that's keeping it, and it's wrapped around in multiple ways. So you wrap it, and there is a little the vellum's being held, and at the ends there's two little discs, and that's where the cords come from, and they wrap around and they tie them together, kind of help it keep it shape. You remove the discs and you unwrap the vellum. The vellums, like I mentioned, they look very old. They look very just forgotten. Not wet at all, and that scroll tube that you can see kind of through it at portions. You know, some of the lion work actually goes all the way into the interior of the scroll holder. So interesting. But that being said, as you kind of open it and you're trying to like see what's on the vellum, your eyes are met with fractal patterns that just infinitely repeat upon themselves. And the more you look at them, the more you're gonna get lost looking at it, and you're just trying to find some semblance, holding it up, holding it this way, rotating. You're trying to see if there's anything. Essentially, it's like an infinite pattern going on the paper, the vellum.
Oh, I think I know this one. I think if you kind of stare at it almost crossways, you'll see.
It's a schooner.
It's a schooner.
Yeah, I'm like twisting it and holding it near my nose, far apart, and like up in the air, and then like down to the floor, and I'm like, this thing's making me dizzy. You take it, hand it to whoever's closest, which is probably still sad.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to Sedge because yeah, this thing's making me dizzy. I don't know what it is.
I'll look at it. I'll look at it briefly. I'm not gonna put too much into it though.
Gotcha. You see much of the same.
I would at least try to recall if I've seen if there's symbols on it. I would try to recall the symbology of it, just from world history and religion knowledge.
You can, yeah, go ahead and give me a religion check, trying to see if maybe you've heard tale or anything from any type of practices that you've experienced might relate to this.
$13 total. I rolled poorly.
It's weird. There's something. There's got to be something to it. I'm not sure what it is, and maybe part of it is just like you kind of are relying on Rock to be able to just kind of look at it and figure it out, but him being stumped by it, and the fact that it
I
was
would totally be honest that he was totally relying.
and the fact that it was in the scroll holder, but like you didn't see it in the scroll holder is odd.
I can't make anything from this. Maybe this seems like some type of secret society, and I don't know anything. I can't pull any knowledge out from anything on this. So they were very secretive, whatever they were, whatever their goals were, I can't discern. But this might have been like some kind of secret message intended for somebody. I don't know. I'm just gonna roll it back up neatly, tie it, and put it back in the thing.
As you put it back in the thing, in the little scroll holder, you look at it. It's there now. It's not hidden. Seemingly, whatever enchantment had it non-visible is gone.
I'm gonna walk over to Sedge and say, "Do you mind if I look at it for a second?"
Oh, please, be my guest. I hand him the whole, like, tube.
Got it.
Okay, so I'm gonna do what I saw Sedge kind of doing, and I'll take it out and just kind of look at it.
I'm gonna look over his shoulder.
Well, I see Davis looking over my shoulder because it's pretty, he's 6'12", and I'm
Yeah.
like 3'2".
I look over your head, I guess.
I just kind of angle it up so he gets a better look at it.
Yeah.
Any distinguishing marks or anything, Adam? Anything that sticks out, or maybe writing style? Anything that I may have seen similar in the monastery library?
You can, if you want to, you can give me. It would be an investigation check to try to see if there's anything that stands out on the parchment for the vellums.
Okay.
Because right now it's just a mess of just line pattern. You don't see any words. You don't see any.
No, I rolled a 1.
She's. It's
For
a
a
mess.
total of 1.
It's very much. You're getting lost at looking at it. You're just kind of like, as you're kind of standing over Dragnar and he's kind of holding it up. You see Dragnar just head kind of start going a little lax. He just keep looking at it and just kind of getting lost.
And we said this belonged to who again?
It's like
Was it that yak
truth
person?
seekers or something. Yes, exactly. Those people. I keep calling them the truth seekers. I can't remember, but it was close to that.
Adam, you did say it was getting close to nightfall, or did I mishear that?
Yeah. It was definitely the sun was already setting behind the mountain by the time y'all got into the dusty pick.
Okay, so I'm assuming it's nightfall then?
Yeah.
Okay, I will. Since we're still waiting, would you like me to meditate on this session?
It's worth a try. I mean,
Wait a
We
minute.
don't
Wait a minute.
have-
Let me try one thing.
Okay, I like hand it straight up.
Just
And then I'm gonna go put it actually on the ground.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I kind of imagine there's like marble floors in here.
sure. Why not? Okay. Yes, there are marble floors. It is a nice entryway.
Yeah. So I put it down on the ground. Now focus on it, and then I just spin it really fast to see if anything just like appears.
Oh my goodness. Element stuff.
If it's like some image or something, I'm like, this could be it. And
Gains velocity.
Pew!
I want this to be it, but no.
No,
You
yeah, like not a fucking chance in hell. But it's like the one thing that Davis like might take a guess at. So it's like, no, shit, no.
I just wasn't expecting that. That's hilarious. So yeah, you just see this old vellum. Like, it's old, boy. you, like some of you that are kind of more versed in history, you realize how old that is, and it could just tear and get ruined all together, and just no, it all just kind of blurs together as the fractal patterns spin, and they come to a rest on the table and kind of.
Okay, that wasn't it. I look cool though. I don't think that was it. Did anybody else? I don't know. You guys know all the weird languages.
Look cool. Didn't see anything. It's balanced. Nothing else.
Just makes me dizzy.
You know. So, with around that time, as like you guys are putting the paper, you hear the footsteps kind of getting closer, and it's the female dragonborn. You dropped something. Who said he would see you?
Hey, cool. 2 for 2.
Oh,
Dragar, you want to chill out here?
Yeah, I can.
Okay,
do
yeah,
my
we'll be back.
meditation thing.
You'll know where we are.
I'm gonna tap Davis on the shoulder real quick. Gonna strum one small chord and tell him, don't forget to ask how his sleep works.
Was that
And
that Bardic?
and give him a bardic.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Almost forgot that part. That's the important part.
Okay, there we go. Layer.
so who's going up?
I definitely am. I don't know who's joining me.
I'll tag along.
If there's limited spaces, I can wait in the
His
lobby.
office is big enough for most of us.
His office is pretty big.
Are there drinks
Not
in the
Loon,
novel?
I don't think.
If there's drinks where Dragnar's staying, I'm staying for drinks.
Does Scoot drink? Can he drink?
All the questions we have to ask. Jesus.
Boot did have a lot of bottles up in his office. Yes.
It's all oil.
Oh,
Thank you, my good man? Woman?
Sierra, you're welcome. Menagerie member.
Davis. Nice to meet you.
Yes. Pleasure. Those of you who wish to Gumscoot, please follow me, and please do pick that up. Whatever you dropped.
He's like thinking about it. I don't know. He's looking at it. He's studying it. He'll pick it up when he's done.
Okay.
The little guy. I don't know. You could see him, right? He kind of gets lost in the shadows sometimes. He's looking at it.
He's in
Gotcha.
the zone.
He's
And
in
Okay.
the zone. He's definitely in the zone.
I'll stay here with him. I'll make sure everything
I'm just
goes.
shaking my head the entire time.
Just
Well, now that it is disturbed,
Fuck
I'll
you,
make sure it
Davis.
isn't more disturbed.
right. So, I guess let me just so I don't forget who went. So, Davis. Who else is going up? Yeah, Lumen's not here right now. Oop.
I'll stay with Dragna.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right. Linlin got dismissed. I forgot.
I think Pebble is also. They're in their little pocket dimension together. And yes, I know mechanically.
Canonically, it's shared.
Yeah.
And they're bullet loops.
Pull of Fruit Loops, right?
What?
Yeah, they're in their little pocket dimension. That's just a giant bowl of Fruit Loops.
Yes.
Saj, are you going to see Scoot?
Um,
No, Saj, sorry, you said you're the Dragonar, right?
yeah, I'm gonna stay with Dregnar.
I'll go then.
Karos? Okay, you're going up? Okay. Okay. Those of you that are heading up, similar path that you took last time, exactly, in fact, the exact same path. You pass the reception desk, and then you kind of enter into the actual work section, and there are just, it's a large open space, lots of tables that are used to just weigh out, measure, sort, etc. different, and whatever. So the entire area is rather dusty. Hence the name of the company, Dusty Pick.
Yep.
Though, again, very modern in the construction of this building. It seems to be made of metals. You know, you're able to get to the back wall where there is a stair that leads up to the singular space. Heading
Your
up.
mic, hey Adam, your mic keeps cutting out.
Oh, does it? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Is that
not
better?
for
Oh, it's
now.
Okay, I'll try to lean a little bit forward. So as you guys are heading up the stairs to the singular office space, that is Scoot, Kira, knocks. You hear the voice, enter, and he opens the door. Sir, the menagerie here to see you. Well, 3 members, actually. The other 3 stayed down. I'll be returning to my desk if there's nothing you need. Like, you may leave. Thank you.
Hey, Scoot.
Hello.
Remember us?
Yes. Forgive me, bad with names, but remember the faces.
Good. So we came to maybe ask a couple of questions. Well, first, I guess, how's business? How are you doing? It's been like a couple weeks, I think. 2 weeks, maybe.
I believe it has been more than 14 days.
Okay.
But I heard that you were venturing into the mountain.
Yep. We did that. Remember you had the things with like tools, like people getting weird injuries. Has that stopped?
It has ceased.
Hey,
Correct.
All right.
I was told that I have not heard of any other injuries, and I know that that was why you entered in the first place. So,
Just
thank you.
Oh yeah, I mean we know we don't do it just for the recognition. We do it because it's the right thing to do. We don't want people who are just earning an honest living to have to risk getting horribly mangled.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you can benefit from it, so be it. But I think everybody gets a little bit better from that.
Well, then you are doing good work.
Well, thank you. But yeah, we actually had some questions about that maybe go because we come to talk to you because you've been here for quite some time. When we were down in the mountain, uh, have you guys? What do you guys know about what's like kind of deep in the mountain, other than like gems and jewels, or at least once upon a time maybe there were some. Like, have you ever encountered anything living in there, or heard of anything that might be inside there? Anything at all?
There are a number of creatures that call when they prey upon
You're
themselves. If they
you're cutting out a little bit again.
okay. Yeah. What's up with my? I was going to say there are a number of creatures that live within the mountain, just like any mountain. They are a enclosed ecosystem.
I mean, are any
And
that are like people though? Because like most of the things that I've heard of living kind of in deep dark spaces are like slugs and other kind of
Shrooms.
yeah,
What?
shrooms. Sure. Wait, really? Shrooms?
Yeah, yeah. Not like walking talking, just like normal mushrooms.
Ah,
Maybe they glow or something, but
no. Okay. Anyway,
is
yeah, like
referred as bioluminescence.
oh,
what he said.
neat.
But no, like more almost like human, like humanoid people thingies. Anything like that?
It is possible. I am not aware.
Okay, because we thought we might have seen. I mean, obviously very dark in there, and we've got tons of ways of making it bright and all that other stuff, but it's really dark in there. So we may have seen something, but it seemed like there was something down in there, and like so, or maybe even bigger than something like that, because never heard of anything like maybe even just like myths, legends, anything like that. Because we saw some weird stuff we just weren't quite fully able to explain or understand, and we're just trying to see if anybody knows anything about it.
Are you not concerned that you maybe entered a pocket of subterranean gas and hallucinated?
Well, no, because these guys, and I'll point to Al, I'll be like, they've got all the magic-y stuff that's like, no, you're good, you don't have any crazy, you're not crazy, you're good, and, they can kind of make sure everything's good. And I just
Well,
I kind of naturally fight off a lot of that stuff, and I think we were fine. Possible.
well, I would imagine that in a space as large as the mountain, there are many things that we are not familiar with. So I don't understand your line of questioning or reasons for bringing this up.
All right, so so we saw a couple weird things. Here's maybe one of the weirdest ones. We saw a tree growing inside the mountain, and it actually sprouted up out the side of the mountain. Have you ever heard of anything like that? A tree growing basically underground? Although I guess it's not, because it comes out of the ground at that point when it's out of the mountain. But yeah.
What's
Anything
a tree?
It's big too. It's like 60 feet tall, something like that. Pretty big.
A living tree in the mountain.
I'm pretty sure it's alive, right?
Alive to me. And no sunlight either. That's
Well, I
I don't know,
mean,
it's new to
it was
me.
up through the mountain though, right? Like it was poking out, so it could get some sunlight up top.
Ah, yes, that yeah.
Well, then that is not so unique if it happened to.
But it was. I mean, I guess there was. That's actually kind of weird too. There was soil there. Well, here, okay. So here's another weird thing about this weird tree. It seemed to have like fruit on the roots, or like, like instead of fruits being on the branches and the trees above, there's like fruit underneath it. Have you ever heard anything like that? Like not
Like
just
a
in this
tuber?
area, but period.
Yeah, but it's just part of the tree instead of being its own entity. It's It was new to me, new to us.
I'm I do not study trees, so I do not know how unique or rare that is.
I mean, I just
Is it?
figured you're a soil guy, right? So you kind of know about how stuff grows, maybe.
I, I am a businessman.
That's
I
true.
figured that this would be profitable and maybe give some fortune to those just without it here in Carver. That is all I do. If you need to talk to someone that is, you have already met them. Someone that is a specialist in soil and
Oh yeah.
agriculture. He is the one that introduced us, correct? Willem.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I guess he does know a couple things.
Oh yeah.
We stayed at his totally not a bar. Or no, we stayed. No, yeah, we were there. Yeah.
With the tree growing out of the middle.
Wait,
It is
that's true. It did. It's the kind of same thing. Wow, it's weird how trees just like poke through things.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. Is there anything else you wish to discuss? Because I do not see the point of this
No,
conversation.
you're right. I'm sorry. Hey, you probably got to go take a rest or something. It's getting pretty late, right?
Um, I mean, I intend to, but I still have some ledgers to go through and make sure the
You
numbers
just seem so
stack up.
busy. It's almost like you just don't even sleep. But
No,
I mean, but you definitely sleep because everybody's got to sleep.
yes, I do rest.
Inside
I
check.
do not need to lay down. Okay, go for it. You inside check that out of
Yep.
everything.
Oh yeah. 21.
Yeah, he totally rests.
I don't know.
Do
if he
it.
rests. I don't believe it.
I
I am still kind of looking at him skeptically, but like giving in to like, okay, yeah, I guess you do.
I
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sorry for wasting your time. Um, glad things are working out for everybody in the mines. Glad to hear things are going better. Thanks again for the tip. We'll go talk to Willem. I assume he's back at his place, same place. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks. Why am I even asking this? I'm wasting your time. Thanks again. And thanks for taking our, talking to us. Hope everything goes well. And
this was a odd conversation, but you
yeah,
are
even by my standards, it was a little odd. Sorry to interrupt, but I agree. I totally agree. But again, thanks.
yes. I suppose I should also thank you again for assisting with the mimic situation.
Our pleasure, and I'll do like a half bow.
Very formal, and he kind of meets you at half bow. Is there anything else I can do for the menagerie?
I'm good, guys.
Carlos is desperately trying to remember why we came to talk to this guy in the first place.
Yep.
Because he knows things. He's the guy who knows things, and so we came to see about.
He's the old robot. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah,
if,
he's the old
if
robot.
we had a specific thing. 'Cause
We
I
wanted to know
thought
if
you were
so.
trying to like, hey, do you have any information?
I'll
you're
say
willing to
partially Davis wanted to flex that hey, we solved that problem y'all had, but also it was if anybody knew that there was a fucking dragon in this mountain.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
might
you
have.
barely brought it up. He's like of myth
Yeah.
and legend, and you jumped directly to a tree, so he didn't really have
True,
a
this is
chance
true.
to address anything.
Davis has a little bit ADD sometimes.
Like I was like, So, but go ahead. Yeah, just as a
Thanks.
reminder.
Oh, I'll throw in an extra little like. Well, we're pretty sure it wasn't gas, but there was some maybe trick of the shadows, the lights, but I don't know. It was kind of scary down there. Some felt like big stuff, you know. Had a deeper growl, but it could have just been the tunnels. I don't know. Just let people know that we think it's still dangerous down there. Not to
If
go
you,
too deep.
as you mentioned myths and that, I believe you are simply getting confused by air that travels through the tunnels and builds up in sound, and maybe it does resemble the sound of a roar. The past had stories of a giant fox place home. Heck, I believe that is why there is so much fox iconography and such in the naming convention of the woods and the local cities. But I assure you, it was the wind within the mountain. No
Rock,
roar.
like size of a big dog, big fox. Did it mention in the
I
tales?
do not know. I just know of some of the old stories that a spirit that played in the forest. That is why it is called the Foxwood, and that it called the mountain home.
One last thing. Sorry. Uh, just had a name pop into my head. Again, you seem to know like most of the things that go on around town. And I actually, out of character, I rolled an intelligence check to see if Davis would possibly remember this name. And I rolled an 18 for a total of 17. So sure.
Yeah.
Does the name Orin Ebenquill mean anything to you?
There's a. Glad you remembered his name because I was actually waiting for something. So
Glorious.
there's a brief moment. So again, he's a Marion, aka we're not in Ebonron, so there's no Warforges here. He's a Warforged though. So just to give you the visual descriptor one more time, so you guys remember, the alloys that make up his exterior are heavily browned and tarnished, though they are of a Damascus gold color, having a swirly effect. His joints and muscle definition points appear to be of braided black cable. His head is smooth with no nose, but like a grate-like structure. His eyes are perfectly round blue, painted glass discs that are backlit. When you bring up Orin Ebenquill, as if like someone's eyes would get big, the backlighting on his ball eyeballs gets brighter for a moment.
Cha-ching.
I am sorry.
Sorry for what?
Was he a former employee or something? I do not necessarily recall.
Alright, I'm inside checking that for sure. If I can.
Yeah. Got an advantage because it's an obvious. Hmm?
Okay. Oh shit. One of those is a natural one, and one of them's still not that great, so I'm gonna use my bardic inspiration.
Okay.
And hopefully roll it on the desk. Oh, that's better. But 22 total.
Nice.
Yeah, he definitely knows who you're talking about, but he's trying to.
Trying to dissemble.
He's trying
no,
to.
No, he's
It's part of. Yeah, a
he's
busy man.
no. I mean, no, he's not a former employee of ours, but no, it seemed like you knew who we were talking about with the way you kind of reacted there. See, we found something with his name in it, and I mean, if we'd like to return it to him if he's even still around, but I think it was kind of old. I don't actually know if he's even still around. But again, you've been around a long time. You know a lot of people. You know you hear things. So who was he, or who is he? I don't know.
Orin is a name I did not expect to hear. May I ask, what did you find of his?
It was a book. I don't know that it's his. His name was in it.
Do you have this book?
I don't have it on me. One of my colleagues downstairs does. I mean, is he around? Is he here in town? Is he a good guy? Is he a
No.
bad guy? Like, do we need to be worried?
Orin departed long ago.
Like, is he like dead, departed, or just left town?
At this point, he is most certainly deceased. He was a man, a human, and they do not live for more than 70 some years or so.
Right.
This happened, I believe, more than 250 years ago was the last time. Orin. Yes, 200 or so.
Do you like? I mean, would it help if you had? Hey, Rock! And I'm just gonna like call across the entire office. Can you
Open
come
the
here?
door. I'll allow it. That's fine.
Especially, I'm a warlord, man. I yell at people.
Yeah.
I,
That kind of
I,
thing.
come, I come like running, like, what's up? Are you okay? Is everyone all right?
As you're running, Rock, like as Davis and them, you're kind of looking at Rock run. Like there's just little dust plumes as he's like running through the work area.
What's up? What's up? I'm here. Are
Hey,
you
hey.
okay?
Yeah, no, we're fine. You remember when we were inside the mountain, you found that book, Orin? Remember Orin's book, or we think it's his book?
Yeah.
Like, did you
This
ever
book?
did you find anything out about it? I know were we still kind of stumped. And I'll point to Scoot a bit. He's heard of him. You know about him. He was around apparently about 250 years ago, but probably long dead. He was just a human. So
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have the book with the last of his writings. Do you want to see it? I'll just hand it over.
Who are you handing it to?
To Davis.
I'll just immediately hand it over to Scoot. Yeah, we just found it. I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, it spoke to us. Like literally, not like in the this book really speaks to me. You know how like some weirdos say that. No, it's like it literally was like, "Hi, I'm a book," or I don't remember what it said. It's like, "Hi, I'm Oren's. Give me the book. Give him the book back," or something. I don't remember exactly. Like I'm fucking crazy. I'm surprised I remember the name.
It is not speaking now.
No, it hasn't since.
It's not anymore. It told us what it needed to tell us. It's kind of like his last message to people, I think. Very interesting. Some of the stuff in there, though. Some magic in there, some notes on his travels.
You took time to read this.
Kind of, sort of, not all of it. We were, in the middle of a cave, but I read pretty quick, and then there's magic in it, and I like magic.
So
The magic will do me no good unless if I am to sell it, but
so
it is your
Scoot,
fine.
was he a good guy, a bad guy? Like what's just give us like something. Like who was he?
He was, if memory serves correct, he was someone seeking refuge from the war.
Like the one
Uh,
the Black Treaty ended that long ago?
Correct. Sorry, he must have been here maybe 500,
Whew. Yeah.
maybe 300. I do not recall. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
even think you weren't around for that, right? This is older than you.
no, I was
Oh,
here.
you were, man. You're old. Look great though.
Um, thank you. Repairs have been sufficient over time. But yes, he was a scholar that was seeking refuge and came to Carver as it was as it was able to avoid much of the influence and the turbulence of the Black War, even back then. It is a name I did not expect here. Orin.
But
He
refuge from like which side, I guess. I don't even really know that much about the Black War.
from both actually. He
Huh.
was a
Did it,
scholar, a occultist, a advisor. Um, he saw he saw the worst of the tactics and policies that the war brought out on both sides.
so he's like a anti-war guy or
I believe that was what he had become. I don't know. Initially, I knew him as someone that asked a lot of questions, always, always had a ledger or notebook.
was it this book?
Perhaps I never had privy to it.
I just thought it might look familiar.
Things become blurred after
Yeah, this
so
thing's
much.
like 300 years old too, right? So.
Yeah, the entire time he's like looking up at you, but he's always just kind of flipping pages and kind of skimming and reading. If I recall, there was something that got his attention, and he came to study the effect that the promise of wealth had on others' minds, as it seemed to renew hope in others, but it also seemed to cause anger and strife, separate from the war. But again, I was aware of him, not a acquaintance.
And he was studying that here in Carver?
He was here. I don't know if his studies were directly in Carver, though it would correlate to make sense, as why else would he be studying gems and minerals and treasures and the effect that it had on people? This was the location.
Makes sense. Does that change anything that you learned, Rock, or is that pretty much square with what you read?
Kind of fits in with what was in the book. Nothing.
Okay. Well, you get a little history lesson to go with it, I guess. And Scoot, hopefully that proved interesting. I mean, I think we'd like it back. I mean, and then I'll just like hold my hand out.
May I have some time to read through this? May you come collect it tomorrow.
Rock?
Can I inside check that and that he'll still have it for me for tomorrow?
Sure. I mean, so I while you're doing the inside check, CJ, I'm asking
Yep.
CJ, do you remember the last entries of the book, right?
I have it in my notes somewhere, I'm sure, but off the top of my head, no.
Okay, I might drop you down for a second then.
Okay.
This is something you would remember. That's why I'm like playing it. But what was your insight check?
I rolled a nat 20.
Okay, then yeah, let's hold on to that. Let me drop you down real quick, okay? Davis, I'll drop you down
Yeah,
too.
I'll pull my headset if you want me to.
No, you can listen. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's stuff you've all heard. You just probably don't remember it.
Got it.
Okay. So yeah, last entries in book. My leg has been, as I have been cast down into these caverns by the trustees. Cannot believe that power has driven them to such act. I for certain will die here, and I will ensure that my book is found by those that could use it for the greater good of research and knowledge. Gibberish, bloodstains,
Cast down by the trustees is.
Scoot was a trustee at one point.
Ah.
Forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah. Because y'all never went on this vein of investigation.
Right.
Scoot is a trustee that stepped down.
Yeah, that's right. In my notes I have also like the sickness upon the mountain.
Yeah, I found my notes on it. I didn't have that part down on about the trustees. But...
And then there's a log of him crawling through the cavern. Personal point of him taking on how long he's lasted down here. Like, you know, it's been, I think, few days. And then the only other thing that is like, this is kind of maybe what led you. The final notes is there is a magic sickness. Greed is one aspect, right? But it's more of a catalyst to a fever. Yet one of not of temperature, but of supernatural. There must be a source, likely foreign, that spreads like a miasma. He knew through the caverns, leaching into the rocks itself and poisoning its people. Hey, spellbook program to appear when wizard. That's just a note. So yeah.
Yeah, I had must be a source leaching to the caverns, poisoning people. I had that. I missed the first part. So
Yeah.
okay.
So if
Yeah.
you remember, the symbol of the trustees is a gemstone with a vertical slit in it, and there's 4 runes that represent like the 4 trustee families, and that's like all engraved on. I gotta find. I have their names. Yeah. So one of them is Estra. Another one is Ichi.
Yep.
Another one. Wait, let me actually make sure I'm not messing this up. Sorry. All right. Estra is a mine supplier, family member of the trustees. All right. Lady of Estra. Scoot is a previously. Yeah, Scoot is another one.
I have 5. Estra, Ichi,
Yeah, 5.
Loran,
Yes.
Solomon, and Ulta.
Yes. Sorry. You're right. There are 5. My notes got like.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like reading it. Oh wait, there's more. It's just they kind of merged for something that like power merged the cell. So yeah, it's Estra, Ichi, Solomon, Laron, and Ultra. And it's actually supposed to be Ultra Blue. Scoot's full name is Scoot Ultra Blue.
Okay. Good to know. I want my book back.
Yeah, let's.
Hey.
We can go back up.
And that is why, like, when you said his name, he's like, oh shit, do they know? Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. So what's the insight with a natural 20?
25.
Alright. Yeah. I mean, you don't know. I mean, he will probably mess with the book. He'll give it back to you, but probably not in the state that you gave it to him.
Yeah, no, that book was, yeah, no, I'll take it back for now. I just want to make sure I got everything I can out of it. There's some spells and stuff in the front that I need. Once I'm done with it, then you guys can just have it. But yeah, for now, I'll like try to snatch it back.
Hmm. You managed to snatch it, but there's a little bit of like a
Resistance.
yeah. But he realizes he's holding onto it and kind of like you feel that he lets go. Very well.
Thanks. I'm sorry, magic and me and magic I'm still learning things, and I might learn some new cool stuff from here. That helps a friend.
I saw that there was many pages filled with equations and formulas that I do not comprehend. I am sure you will spend many time learning from Orin's legacy.
Sounds like a cool guy.
Yeah, that's thank you.
Well, I must say thank you for imparting such information upon me. I certainly did not expect to hear of Orin Evans Quill.
Yeah, 300 years later, right? Crazy.
Yes, it's actually, in fact, I had forgotten about him until you had mentioned. Well, you have my thanks once again for dealing with the mimic, and I must return to my ledgers, as unfortunately business never truly sleeps.
But you do, right?
See, correct. I do,
Right.
and
Yep.
I still must complete some work.
All right, don't let us slow you down. Thanks again. I guess once we're done, we'll give you the book. We'll just swing back by and drop it off with you. All right, do you want us to like give it to you? Like, is it something we shouldn't let anybody else handle, or you want us?
I would appreciate it if you would be so kind
We'll
to
hand deliver it for you.
please. I will make sure that my reception desk is well aware that I will be receiving a parcel
Hand delivered.
and delivered by the Crass Menagerie.
Absolutely. You got the full name. Awesome.
You say it often enough that it,
Yeah, okay, it's we got some stuff we be proud of. Okay.
Yeah.
very well, just as I am proud of my establishment.
As you should be. Again, we won't take up any more of your time. Thanks so much. And we'll be back when when we're done.
Very well. Have a good evening, and it does not sound like the rain is going anywhere.
Yep. That's unfortunate. Sleep tight.
I will.
If we get when we get back down, like if it was the half elf, I think that was the other one was Dragonborn and half elf.
Yeah.
Email the Dragonborn.
I'm gonna like, as we pass by the desk, I'm gonna be like, yeah, he totally sleeps, or at least he says he does. So, awesome. Also,
He
we
nods.
might be back. I don't know at some point, but he'll be expecting us again because he likes us.
Oh, are you going to be doing some contract work?
No. See, it's like, nah, we've got another. I mean, maybe at some point, but nah, this is not about that. So.
Very well. It was nice meeting with you. You're.
Oh, are they still?
There's
What? Is he
Yeah,
still
there's-
looking at that thing?
Still spinning.
So Sej and Dragnar, after Rock had pew, away from you guys, still taking a look at the parchment. Is there anything you wanted to do with the vellums, or do with anything else that you guys have collected, or?
I was going to do a meditation right there on the vellum.
Okay. See how well that went while the guys were gone.
Okay, so with the Venta Black, do I add 6 or a D6?
It's a D6 because that's the size of your
Martial arts.
martial art.
Okay, 1 second.
I'm still not necessarily done figuring out that item yet, but just run with it as it is right now.
Okay, so the first one will be on the vellum itself, and the second one will be on the guy's name. I know David said it earlier.
Oh, Orin
Orin?
Evanpool?
I didn't say it until I got to the office, and it was like
I
a
thought-
random ass poll.
But I thought you guys had talked about it earlier.
Like weeks ago at this point.
Okay. never
Get
mind.
up
And I'll-
in caves.
Yeah, if you were to randomly think of it as well, that would be uncanny.
Yeah. I would say, like, you only heard Davis say rock, and then Rock came running over, right?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so for the vellum, I got an 18.
18 total? Okay. So the vellum is definitely a magic item. It just needs some time to be identified. It's weird. Like, you can't actually pinpoint its origin or its history or anything like that. It just the shadows essentially whisper to you that it just needs to be understood. It needs to be studied and answered and figured out, and its secrets will be imparted.
Okay, if I have time, I'll do the second one. And the second one would be how it came to be in the Dragon's Horde.
Okay. And a D6.
So
30?
30.
Oh,
It's no 40.
without going. Huh?
It's no 40.
Yeah, it's no 40. Essentially, yeah, I mean, while you're meditating over time and focusing, the scroll holder and the vellum inside, you're not necessarily sure if the dragon, based on like what the shadows are showing you, was aware of what was inside of the scroll holder. But it was, you do see from the Aristotar's perspective, because you know its name now, that it did plunder an unveiler's lyceum, essentially. Though long ago, it was not like a massive structure. It was akin to, I don't know. I wish I had like a good size comparison. It was akin to like a small home, essentially, that was converted into a repository of knowledge. Um, and a much younger dragon came and sought to take what treasures laid within. And you see many unveilers. And the reason you know that they're unveilers is because you see the symbology that they and their crest suffocating and choking to the gases of Rissertar as she just scooped up what it felt was valuable. And that was one of the things in the collection that it took. And that is how it came to be within her hoard.
Okay. So whenever I come out of the trance, what's the Dragonborn and the other guy doing? They watching me freak out in the corner?
Ow. Honestly, I don't think at this point that they were actually paying attention to you.
Okay.
Because you
Cool.
guys are kind of, off to the side. Tej is there. Rock ran off, so they kind of are confused and they're just whatever, and just kind of you would hear like the Marines weirdos and just kind of get back to whatever paperwork they have. And from time to time, I'll give you this: some people would be walking in, though not in the main entrance, the side entrance, and you realize that the reception also like it cuts through the wall so they can deal with employees walking in and getting into the workstations, and you would just hear the footsteps and the wheelbarrows getting pushed in and all that of different employees bringing in the dirt and the soot. Uh, and then you hear like the sounds of them complaining about the rain and making it more heavy and it's harder to push these things. That's about it. You go pretty much unnoticed while you're doing this. So yeah, the vellum, just to recap, you have no idea of its origin, but you get the sense that it is a magical item that just needs to be figured out. And then Aristartar got it in her collection because somehow she heard of a outpost of a Lyceum-like structure that belonged or was curated and protected by the Unveilers. Act killed about a dozen of them or so that were stationed there and just scooped what she thought was valuable to add to her hoard.
Okay.
So it is a much younger Aristartar back then.
You guys ready?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Did you find anything out?
Well, remember that book we found in the mountain that, like, spoke to us, literally? Said, hi, you have magic, open me, or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Yeah, like, Scoot knew the guy?
Huh.
So, I mean, he sounded
He
like an
was
okay
strange.
guy,
Hungry.
but
for
now I think Rock wanted to study it again. Is that right, bud?
He's just a little weird. I didn't want him to have a bug. I don't know.
That,
Something about him just didn't feel
that's on brand.
right. Right.
Ugh, it's getting late. Let's go.
I'm gonna hold up the scroll case and who was holding this? Who was carrying this?
Oh, it was me. I
It was Al.
have the other one.
No, it was
put.
Al. It was Al. He needs.
Is Al?
He's
Huh?
got all sorts of room.
Al, you can carry it if you want.
Yeah.
No, I got something over this shoulder, something over that shoulder. I'm out of
Okay.
shoulders. I can't. Sorry, maybe.
No,
Hey,
he's totally.
Sej.
He's got all sorts of room in his pack.
Okay. Well,
Sej, you're
whoever's
looking
carrying-
burly. How you doing? Can you mind holding that for me? I'll play it back sometime. Thank you
Who
very
I
much.
might point out has like a cord with 5 shields strapped to it around one shoulder.
Yeah, you
Just
can't
like,
ask. Like, look at all this stuff he's carrying. Just carry it out. You've got room in
Also
your pack.
have an additional pack.
Okay. I'm gonna just put it into Sej's chest. Here, take this. The shadows tell me to keep working with it. It may reveal more secrets to you.
Just remember I have it, and I'm gonna stick it back in my pack.
Or not.
We're not
where-
what? What do you want me to do?
I said the shadows told me if you keep working with it, it may reveal more secrets.
Oh, well then please, you have it. You can have it for sure.
No,
The
but
shadows told me that if you keep working with it,
Oh, if I keep working with it, what do they
wait,
want
the
with
shadows
me?
know Sedge by name? That's cool.
yes.
Whoa.
Is he like their enemy because he loves the sun?
Do they
Is
know?
he like a
No.
mythical, like, oh, beware the elephant who can conjure the power of the sun?
Because everywhere there's light, it just increases more shadow.
Well, not everywhere. I mean, like,
Oh.
under the light, there's not shadows. It's just when stuff blocks.
Exists. Yeah.
Either way, I'll keep looking into it, but it looks like we're about to get out the door again. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Well, I'll certainly keep trying, but if we're about to leave the door, I'm not gonna hold it in my hand all day.
Also, we
You know?
probably shouldn't wait till really, like, we're gonna just go gate crash Willem's house, right? I mean, the dude owes
Yeah.
us. He really does kind of owe us.
Why not? Either that or the bar that's not the bar that's
Well,
the
that's
bar.
his bar, like, not
Exactly.
actual
It's
bar.
the bar that's not the bar that's the bar.
I vote for bar.
Yeah, well, I mean, we still gotta go talk to Willem. I mean, I guess we could just break in there, but we should probably go at least talk to
And
Willem.
we try not to get in a fight this time when we walk outside.
We
Yeah,
can
I
try.
can't pay anybody else off. I'm broke.
I don't think we did anything. I think the town just doesn't like us.
Well,
We do draw the
I mean,
eye.
It's true.
what else do we have to take care of here, anyways? Well, it is going to be nighttime, so it's not like we can just leave. But
Well, we can talk about that whenever we're away from other people.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks, guys. Then.
Bye. I would say stay dry, but
Yeah, good luck.
I just got used to being dry.
I mean, this guy here, he'll drive me when I get wherever I'm going. He hates things that are wet.
Oh.
right. Okay. See you in a couple days, I guess, or whenever.
Yeah, whenever.
And on that, if you guys don't mind, go ahead and take a little break. I need to use the restroom.